She's so rotten, she wants migrants picking cotton. We present to you Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who made this shocking argument why America needs immigrants. Roll it, Alfred.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
When the wheels fall off.
You're not.
It's just, that's what she does. She puts out this video of her acting in a certain way, and that's how she fundraises.
We actually did a bit of a deep dive on her after my old colleague from Fox News, Todd Starnes, posted something on X not long ago, Walter. He posted the following. Jasmine Crockett wants you to think she's from the hood, that she grew up on the streets. The exact opposite is true. She attended an exclusive day school where tuition is nearly $35,000 a year. She also attended Rhodes College, a private school where tuition is nearly $55,000 a year. She's cosplaying a gangsta. So we looked up her background. She was born in St. Louis. She's 43. Her dad was a Baptist pastor and a teacher. Her mother worked in a post office. She graduated from Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day School, one of the most expensive private schools in the city. Indeed, the current tuition, $35,000 a year.
In the world of politics, some lines are unforgettable. But every so often, a politician delivers a statement so completely jaw-dropping, it sets the entire internet on fire. Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett recently did just that, arguing America needs immigrants for a reason that left everyone speechless. She claimed that without them, no one else would be willing to go out and pick the cotton. Her argument immediately exploded, but it also put her directly in the crosshairs of two of media's most relentless critics, Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly. They didn't just disagree with her, they orchestrated a verbal demolition that exposed what they saw as a political fraud. Crockett brought sass and outrage to a battle of wits, but she was about to learn that Gutfeld and Kelly came armed with receipts, and they were ready to cash them in on live television.
Jasmine Crockett's got another hot take. No blacks and whites on a wedding cake. The Democrats' new chosen one, Jasmine Crockett, is in the news again for an old clip where she attacked Florida Rep. Byron Donalds for marrying a white woman. Roll it, Bertha.
The fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow, is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you?
That's not very woke, is it?
Speaking of leftist hypocrisy and cluelessness, Jasmine Crockett is a rising star amongst the far-left progressives in this country. She's a representative from Houston, Texas, of all places, which makes no sense because she seems to be far too left for Houston, but apparently not, because they elected her. It must be like, Orange County in California being like the one outlier in an otherwise uniformly state, like all red with the one blue, all blue with the one red. Okay, so Jasmine Crockett got up at a Los Angeles dinner this past Saturday, and it was hosted by, this is perfect, the Human Rights Campaign.
Before the media firestorm, questions about Jasmine Crockett's identity were already swirling. Many commentators, including Todd Starnes, pointed out a massive disconnect between the character she played in Congress and the life she actually lived. Crockett crafted a persona of someone straight from the streets, a tough-talking fighter who understood the struggle. But when journalists did a deep dive, they uncovered a very different story. Born in St. Louis to a Baptist pastor and a post office worker, Crockett didn't grow up in the hood. She attended the Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day School, one of the most exclusive and expensive private schools in the city, with a current tuition of nearly $35,000 a year. From there, she went to Rhodes College, another private institution where tuition nears $55,000. This wasn't the backstory of a street-forged warrior. It was the polished resume of the elite. The accusation was unavoidable. She was cosplaying a gangster, adopting a persona for political gain that had little to do with her reality. But her curated image was about to be challenged from all sides.
That was 3 years ago. The ones of her just sounding like a normal person talking. 3 years, not like that was 20 years, but then she moved to Mississippi for all that time. That was 3 years ago. She sounded like a totally normal person. It's only now she's got her accent and she's going to kick everybody's ass. It's such an affectation.
Is she making any point there?
Like this makes me wish my mom made different father choices.
So this is funny. Jasmine Crockett sits on the Judiciary Committee, and about a month ago, Walter, I testified.
Yes,
before
we saw this.
Committee. Yeah, and the hearings, the full committee hearings, are quite long. You can be there for over 4 hours. So, and they let the most junior members ask questions last. So I had to sit for quite a long time. And then at the very end, Jasmine Crockett, who I had never heard before, suddenly started screaming at me and Michael Schellenberger. And when you're a witness in Congress, you have to pay attention to what everybody says, because you never know when you're going to be asked an actual question and allowed to, maybe even allowed to speak. But I could not understand what she was saying. She was moving from one thing to another, and she was doing all that code switching stuff with the y'alls and y'all eyeing on this and everything.
It wasn't just her background that raised red flags. It was her signature style of attack. In another clip that went viral, Crockett targeted a fellow representative, Byron Donalds, not for his policies, but for his personal life. She publicly questioned his credibility because he, a black man, is married to a white woman. She suggested his marriage somehow whitewashed him and disqualified him from speaking on certain issues. The comment was deeply personal and for many crossed a major line. This wasn't a debate about policy. It was a character assassination disguised as political commentary. This pattern of using inflammatory personal attacks was quickly becoming her trademark, a way to generate headlines and outrage. But this fiery rhetoric caught the attention of two media giants who specialize in dismantling exactly this kind of political theater. Enter Greg Gutfeld, a man who has weaponized sarcasm into a political art form. Gutfeld didn't meet Crockett's outrage with more outrage. He met it with something far more devastating: sheer, unadulterated boredom. He treated her political grandstanding as if it were a terrible open mic comedy act. He observed that her entire argument folded like a cheap suit from a donor's discount bin. He didn't need to shout. A simple, dry observation was enough to make her passionate speeches seem hollow and ridiculous. Gutfeld portrayed Crockett not as a serious legislator, but as a reality TV star who had accidentally wandered onto the set of C-SPAN. To him, her policy points were like expired coupons, invalid, irrelevant, and not redeemable in any serious conversation. Every time Crockett puffed up her chest for a mic drop moment, Gutfeld's quiet smirk and dismissive silence did more damage than any rebuttal ever could. But if Gutfeld's attack was a comedic roast, Megyn Kelly's was a clinical dissection.
This woman, I've had about enough of her. She wants to be like a member of the squad. She thinks of herself like an AOC. She talks like, she's from the hood. Meanwhile, she grew up in a nice family. She didn't talk like this 3 years ago. 3 years ago, she sounded like you and I sound in this conversation. Like, I'm really excited to be going to Congress. I can't wait to get started on my new job. And now she's like, we need to smack him in the head.
We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this that they trying to pull right now.
Like, what? What are you? We have videotape. Why are you talking like that? No one believes this bullshit. And now she's graduated to acting like a thug. So congratulations, your term in the U.S. Congress is going really well.
That was a great impression.
Do you share your boxcar with people of color?
I do.
Yeah.
My boxcar does not know race, does not know gender. It is a welcome space where only deodorant is not welcome. I like this Jasmine Crockett lady, right?
It's a great name, isn't it, for a villain?
Yeah, Jasmine. Yeah.
Crockett is the whitest last name you could ever have. Yeah. I want to throw that out there.
Sonny Crockett, Miami Vice.
Yes.
It's like the whole thing is like, because I've seen her, she's very well spoken, and then she gets on certain programs and lets it. So maybe this whole thing is like a Netflix documentary, like a new spin on Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde.
But she is going to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
You are going to be so glad she
Keep
popped
her
up
around.
on the scene.
That's going to make up for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. She's going to we're going to get a segment a day from her.
We're going to talk about Black history, at least know it. This is, at least know it, okay? But it goes back to, that was 45 seconds of some of the, like, Kamala, you good right now. That was some of the dumbest I ever heard in my life. Here's the thing. This goes back to what we talked about earlier. They never have a solution. Just listen to your dumbass talk. You want to talk about agriculture? Why don't you fix the lottery? Why don't you make it easier for people who want to come into this country to work in agriculture and equitation?
While Gutfeld was serving up sarcasm, Megyn Kelly stepped in with the energy of a seasoned prosecutor who had been preparing for this case her whole life. While Crockett was busy auditioning for a congressional remake of Mean Girls, Kelly came armed with facts, timelines, and the kind of stone-faced calm that only comes from surviving decades of media warfare. She methodically dismantled Crockett's political persona piece by piece, not with jokes, but with cold, hard reality. She dissected Crockett's legislative record like a frog in a high school biology class, and what she found was nothing. There was no substance to dissect. Kelly pointed out that Crockett's entire contribution to American governance read like a failed group project, where she showed up at the last minute to add some glitter to the PowerPoint and then claimed she carried the whole team. It was a brutal surgical takedown that left Crockett's brand of performative politics completely exposed. This 1-2 punch from Gutfeld and Kelly revealed a fundamental flaw not just in Crockett's arguments, but in her entire political identity. Megyn Kelly landed a particularly brutal blow when she pointed out that Crockett's entire hood persona was a recent invention. She stated plainly, she didn't talk like this 3 years ago. She recalled seeing older clips of Crockett where she spoke like a normal professional person, excited to start her new job in Congress. But now it was all posturing and code switching, a dramatic affectation designed to project an image of struggle and defiance. This wasn't just an accusation, it was an observation backed by video evidence. The shift in her accent and demeanor was so stark, it seemed less like natural evolution and more like a calculated performance. She was acting like a thug, Kelly concluded, and no one was buying the act. This calculated performance, however, masked a much bigger problem than just an accent.